Ooh. It's been a while. That's my bad. A lot of you guys have been asking for an update video, and I'm actually heading down to Utah tomorrow to the John A. Moran Eye Center. So I figured I would bring you along with me and just give you an overall update on my eyesight. So I have everything packed here. It's a one-night stay. I'm just going to go stay in the hotel by the eye center. So hopefully I have enough underwear, and let's just go ahead and head out. Alright, current situation, it is about 8:20. I've been going for like 2 to 3 mile runs every morning for the past month or so. So I'm going to get a quick run in before I go to my appointment at about 9:20. So we're going to hit that up real quick, and then I will pick up with you guys after.
The brakes coming.
Alright, my legs feel like absolute lead this morning, so I only ended up doing about 1.5 miles at about 12 minutes. Nothing special, but I'm gonna go ahead, go shower, and head on over to my appointment. Alright, shower is obtained. I'm running a little bit late, so let's head straight to my appointment.
I'm Jackie. I'll get a couple things started. Look right here at my open eye and tell me how many fingers you see.
2.
Good.
1. I couldn't tell until then. 5.
Okay, sorry. And look right here at my finger. Follow my finger with just your eyes. Good. Look straight ahead again, and I'm going to shine this light into your eyes and just check out your pupils. You said you have hard contacts?
Yes. Alright, so that last clip you saw is actually the last little bit that I filmed at my eye appointment. When you're doing these types of eye appointments, you're seeing a lot of different people for a lot of different scans. So every single time I have to say, is it okay if I film? Is it okay if I film? And eventually someone is like, no. So I ended up putting it away, and I'll go ahead and just give you a general overview of what happened at my appointment. So for those of you guys who have been around my channel for a long time, you'll know that I have a condition called Retinitis Pigmentosa. So for the rest of this video, I'll just abbreviate it as RP. And with this condition, basically I'm just going to go blind. First thing that goes is my night vision and my peripheral vision in the form of my rods in my eyes, and then eventually my cones will go as well, which is responsible for your central vision and your daytime vision. So I was actually diagnosed with this about a year ago, and this is my first follow-up appointment since then. So at this appointment, a lot of the tests are basically looking for things that are abnormal. With retinitis pigmentosa, they know that my vision is going to deteriorate, and they expect it to deteriorate, but they want to make sure there's nothing that isn't typical with RP. So they did a bunch of scans, they did a bunch of tests, and they didn't come up with anything abnormal, which is good. When it pertains to the degradation of my vision, they did notice I had some peripheral vision loss, so my field of vision did shrink a little bit. One thing that they did last time that I wish they would have done this time is an ERG, which stands for electroretinograph, I believe. What they do is they hook a bunch of things up to your eyes, they stick you in a dark room, and then they flash a light, and it gives them some information on how well I'm performing for night vision, as well as how well my eyes perform for day vision. So I wish they would have done that, because I personally feel like I've had a lot of night vision loss, but I won't know. Maybe they'll do that in future appointments, and I can get some information on that. So overall, this is a pretty basic checkup for a condition like mine. Obviously, when someone with normal vision goes to an eye doctor, they're not going to have a bunch of tests and a bunch of scans like I do. But for me, this is pretty typical. I didn't have anything really abnormal, and I didn't have any major shifts. RP is just a very steady, slow, declining disease, and eventually I am just going to go blind. Now, there are some clinical trials for my eye condition, nothing definitive, but there are trials that they are doing. But in order to understand this and why I'm eligible, we need to rewind a little bit to last year. After I was first diagnosed with RP, they wanted to do a DNA test to figure out exactly where my condition was stemming from. So I did a little spit sample, and this year in around February, I did receive a call telling me I have X-linked RP. So what that means is that it is genetic, and it is passed down through an X chromosome, which means it did come from my mother. Now, she doesn't actually have any symptoms of RP, because as a biological female, you do have two X chromosomes, so you are fortunate in the case that if one is malfunctioning, you have another one that can try and take over, and typically does. For me, as a biological male, I only have one X chromosome and a Y chromosome, which means that if my X chromosome is malfunctioning, I do not have another X chromosome to potentially take over. So this is good information for my family to know that it is genetic, because my sisters could potentially be carrying this and could pass it down to their children, even though it may not be manifesting in them because they have an additional chromosome. Whereas for me, if I were to have children, which I'm not going to, but if I were to, my daughters would definitely be carriers, even though they may not have it manifested, whereas my sons definitely would not receive it since they are given my Y chromosome. Now, as it pertains to clinical trials, all this lets them know is that I do in fact have X-linked RP for the clinical trials that they're doing for that condition. So I am eligible for some of those, although I was going to do one down in Utah for a drug called 4D125, and they did recently call me that I was not eligible for it. I don't know why. The lady didn't really know either. She just knew that my vision was too poor for some reason. It could have had something to do with my myopia, which is just nearsightedness, which I correct for with contacts. I do have pretty severe myopia on top of my RP condition, so I'm not really sure what it is, but there are a lot of different drugs being tested for X-linked RP, so honestly, I don't think it's a matter of if, more so a matter of when I end up in a clinical trial. And again, keep in mind, these are clinical trials. There's absolutely nothing guaranteed. There's a lot of risk involved with these, and I really just don't know whether it will stop the progression, whether it will improve my eyesight, or potentially just make me go blind faster. These are all risks, these are all benefits. I don't really know, but as for now, that's really all I have for this update. Thank you guys for sticking around if you made it to this point in the video, and if you've been following me for a while and you've stuck around, I really appreciate it. Sorry for the lack of videos over the last little bit. I do have some videos planned for the future, so hopefully there won't be as big of a gap as there was between the last video, but only time will tell. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you in my next one.